The Italian leather shoes cost more than 3 months of her rent. Talia knows this because they're 6 inches from her face, perfectly shined, standing over her body like a decision being made. Rain hammers the pavement around her. Neon signs bleed red and blue across the wet concrete. Her vision splits and doubles. She can't tell if there's 1 man or 3. She's not breathing right. A woman's voice, Korean accent, panicked. She's breathing. The man above her, his voice has no panic in it, just the kind of calm that comes from making life or death choices before breakfast. Check her pulse. Talia tries to move. Her body ignores her. She's been hungry before. Baltimore taught her that. But this is her body quitting, shutting down, giving up without asking permission. Before we continue, besties, please show some love by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us bring you heartfelt, unforgettable stories every single day. And don't forget to comment your location and the time you're watching. Let's see how far this story of love and fate has traveled across the world. Hands lift her. Efficient, practiced, like they've done this before. Warmth wraps around her shoulders. Someone's coat. It smells like expensive cologne and cigarette smoke. Her eyes catch his face for half a second before darkness swallows her. Sharp jaw, black ice eyes. A face that doesn't ask questions because it already knows the answers. "Bring her inside," he says in English. Then switches to Korean. 3 words spoken like a command that will be obeyed. The woman responds. Her voice shakes. He says 1 more word. Final. Absolute. And Talia realizes something right before consciousness abandons her. Being invisible kept her safe for 3 days on these streets. Being seen by this man might be the most dangerous thing that's ever happened to her. The world goes black, but she can still hear footsteps. Multiple. Following. What do you think he just ordered them to do with her body? Comment now. The ceiling is wrong. Talia's eyes open to fluorescent lights that hum like trapped insects. The air tastes thick. Fermented cabbage, sesame oil, something sharper underneath. Bleach, maybe. Or fear. Her body feels like one massive bruise. She tries to sit up. Pain shoots through her ribs. Don't move yet. The voice comes from her left. The woman from before. Middle-aged, soft features, but her hands won't stop trembling as she sets down a bowl. You need to eat first. White porridge. Steam rising. Talia's stomach clenches so violently she almost gags. Where am I? Baekdu Market. The woman glances at the door. Her name tag says Mrs. Kim in English letters, Korean characters underneath. Storage room. You collapsed outside. The memory crashes back. Rain. Pavement. Those shoes. I need to leave. Talia swings her legs off whatever she's lying on. A cot, thin mattress, military-grade basic. Her knees buckle immediately. She catches, herself against metal shelving, breathing hard. Please. Mrs. Kim's hand hovers near her shoulder but doesn't quite touch, like she's afraid contact might burn. Sit. Eat. Then we'll talk about leaving. Talia takes the bowl because her body makes the choice her pride can't. The first spoonful hits her stomach like a shock. She forces herself to go slow, even though every cell in her body screams for more. Thank you, she whispers. Mrs. Kim busies herself reorganizing boxes that don't need reorganizing. Her movements are too precise, too controlled, the kind of busy that comes from not wanting to think about something. Talia scans the room between bites, stacked crates, jars of kimchi lined up like soldiers, a desk buried under receipts held down by a jade paperweight, and a camera in the corner, small, black, red light blinking. Who is that man? Talia asks. The one who. The door opens. Mrs. Kim goes rigid. Her spine straightens like someone pulled a string. Even the air changes, thinner, colder, like the room itself is holding its breath. He steps inside. Choi Minjai. She doesn't know his name yet, but she'll learn it soon enough. Everyone on this street knows it. He's taller than she remembered. The black suit fits him like armor, tailored so perfectly it might be bulletproof. His hair is dry now, styled with the kind of precision that takes money and weekly appointments. Water still clings to his shoes. He doesn't track mud. The street doesn't dare. He doesn't look at her immediately. His eyes sweep the room first. Door, camera, fire exit behind the shelving, Mrs. Kim's trembling hands, then finally Taiil, like he's calculating threats in order of priority, and she's last on the list. "You're awake," he says, statement, not question. Taiil sets down the bowl and straightens despite her screaming muscles. She won't be small in front of him, won't be the grateful rescued victim. "I wasn't begging," she says. "I didn't ask if you were." His voice has the texture of ice, smooth, cold, unbreakable. No warmth, no cruelty, just the kind of flatness that comes from saying exactly what you mean and wasting no words on anything else. Silence stretches. Mrs. Kim looks between them like she's watching a car accident in slow motion. He studies Taiil. Not her clothes, not her obvious desperation, not the fact that she clearly spent the last week sleeping rough. He looks at her eyes. Only her eyes? Something flickers across his face. Recognition, maybe, or the kind of calculation that comes before a difficult decision. "Let her stay," he tells Mrs. Kim, "until she's strong enough to walk out on her own." He turns toward the door. "Wait." Talia's voice stops him. "Why are you helping me?" His hand rests on the doorframe. 3 seconds pass. 4. She thinks he won't answer. "Everyone's invisible," he says quietly, "until they become a problem." Then he's gone. Mrs. Kim exhales like she's been drowning. "That man," Taiil says carefully, "he owns this place?" "He owns everything on this street." Mrs. Kim's voice drops to barely a whisper. "The restaurants, the markets, the buildings where people sleep." She pauses. "But the men he answers to? They own him." Before Taiil can ask what that means, footsteps echo in the hallway outside. Different rhythm, slower, heavier, the kind of walk that doesn't need to hurry because every door opens before it arrives. Mrs. Kim goes pale, actually pale. The color drains from her face like water from a cracked glass. The shadow that falls across the doorway is wider than Minjai's, older. When he speaks, his voice has the texture of silk wrapped around a knife. "Mrs. Kim." He doesn't step inside. Doesn't need to. His presence fills the space anyway. "The girl. She's a mistake waiting to happen." His eyes find Taiil through the doorway. And unlike Minjai, when this man looks at her, she doesn't feel invisible. She feels hunted. Who is this man? And what kind of mistake does he think Taiil is? Drop your theory below. I need to know what you're thinking right now. The man in the doorway doesn't blink. Taiil, former prosecutor, current ghost, the kind of man who ended careers with a phone call and started wars with a signature. He wears a charcoal suit that costs more than Minjai's. His silver hair is combed back with the precision of someone who controls every detail of his life, including which subordinates breathe too loudly in his presence. "She doesn't know anything," Mrs. Kim says quickly. Too quickly. Taiil's smile doesn't reach his eyes. "That's not what concerns me." He finally steps inside. The room shrinks around him. His gaze lands on Taiil like a surgeon deciding where to cut. "Baltimore, yes? 3 days in the city. No job, no contacts, collapsed from malnutrition outside our establishment." He tilts his head. "How remarkably convenient." Talia's spine goes rigid. "I don't know what you're talking about." "Of course you don't." Taiil's voice stays silk smooth. "That's what makes you dangerous." He turns to Mrs. Kim. When Minjai asks about her, tell him she recovered and left. Understood? Mrs. Kim's hands twist in her apron. But he said, I know what he said. Taiil's voice drops 10 degrees. I'm telling you what will happen. Then he's gone. The silence he leaves behind feels like suffocation. 3 days later, Talia is still there. Minjai doesn't ask why. He just appears. Early mornings before the market opens, late nights after the last customer leaves. Never stays long. Never explains. One evening, rain hammers the street hard enough to flood the gutters. Talia finishes sweeping the front entrance, her donated jacket soaked through. She doesn't hear him approach. You'll get sick, Minjai says. She jumps. He's standing 3 feet away, umbrella in hand, expensive shoes somehow still pristine despite the ankle-deep water. I'm fine, she says automatically. You're shaking. He's right. She is. He holds out the umbrella. Black. Simple. Probably costs more than everything she owns. I don't need charity, Talia says. It's not charity, it's practical. He pauses. And I'm walking the same direction anyway. She doesn't believe him, but the rain is brutal and her teeth won't stop chattering. They walk in silence for 2 blocks. Water rushes past storm drains too clogged to handle the flood. Somewhere above them, a fire escape drips rust-colored water. Korean pop music leaks from a 3rd-floor apartment. Baltimore, Minjai says eventually. Not a question. Talia stiffens. How did you said it in your sleep? First night. She doesn't remember sleeping. Doesn't remember speaking. My mom died, Talia says. The words come out flat. Practice makes them easier. Cancer. My stepdad disappeared 2 days after the funeral. Took everything that wasn't nailed down. She kicks a piece of trash out of their path. I had a job lined up here, administrative assistant, decent pay, but when I showed up, the company didn't exist, just an empty office and a disconnected phone number. Minjai doesn't offer sympathy, doesn't tell her it'll get better or that everything happens for a reason. Running doesn't mean escaping, he says quietly. Something in his voice makes her look at him. Really look. His face shows nothing, but his eyes look tired in a way sleep can't fix. Sounds like you tried, Talia says. I'm still trying. They reach the apartment building where Mrs. Kim arranged a room. 4th floor, shared bathroom, mattress on the floor. Not much, but more than Talia had 3 days ago. Minjai hands her the umbrella. Keep it. I can't. You can. He turns to leave, then stops. Taiil will test you. He tests everyone he catches himself. Everyone I allow near the business. What kind of test? The kind designed to make you leave. Rain drums against the umbrella. Thunder rolls somewhere over the East River. What if I don't leave? Talia asks. Minjai looks at her for a long moment. Then you become a different kind of problem. He walks away. No goodbye, no backward glance. Talia watches him disappear into the rain, his silhouette blurring into the neon and darkness. She doesn't know it yet, but across the street a black sedan idles with its lights off. Inside, Taiil watches through tinted windows and makes a phone call. What do you think Taiil is planning? Comment your prediction. This is about to get dark. The accusation comes on a Thursday. Talia is restocking the dried seaweed aisle when the store owner, Mr. Park, 60-something, kind eyes, always smells like ginseng tea, approaches with 2 men she's never seen before. Security uniforms, private company, expensive. Miss Monroe, Mr. Park says. His voice sounds wrong, rehearsed. We need to discuss a discrepancy. Her stomach drops. What kind of discrepancy? One security guard pulls out a tablet, taps the screen, turns it toward her. Security footage. Lack. and white. Timestamp says 2 days ago. The video shows Taiil at the register. A customer walks away. She glances around. The movement looks guilty even though she remembers doing nothing wrong, then opens the cash drawer. Her hand moves. Bills disappear into her jacket pocket. That's not... Talia's voice cracks. I didn't do that. The footage is clear, the second guard says. Check my locker, Taiil demands. I don't have any extra money. Check my bank account. Check everything. Mr. Park's expression says he already has. They walk to the staff room in silence, the kind of silence that feels like a funeral procession. Her locker opens with her key. Inside, tucked behind her spare shirt, is an envelope. Cash, $200, all small bills. I've never seen that before in my life, Taiil whispers. No one believes her. The police aren't called. Mr. Park is too kind for that, or maybe Minjai made a phone call, but she's fired immediately. Her final paycheck withheld to cover the stolen amount. By evening, the story spreads through Koreatown like smoke. Talia Monroe, the black girl Minjai took pity on, stole from the people who helped her. Ungrateful, probably dangerous, definitely not to be trusted. She sits on the steps outside her building until dark, staring at nothing. Footsteps approach, expensive shoes on concrete. They framed you, Minjai says, not a question. Talia doesn't look up. How do you know? Because the camera angle is wrong. You can't see your hand entering your pocket from that position, and the timestamp is edited. There's a 3-second gap in the metadata. She finally meets his eyes. Then why didn't you stop it? His jaw tightens. I didn't know until an hour ago. And now? Now everyone thinks you're a thief. His voice goes cold. Which means Taiil got exactly what he wanted. Talia laughs, no humor in it, just the sound of something breaking. Why does he care? I'm nobody. You made me hesitate. Minjai sits beside her, close enough that she can smell his cologne, cedar, and something darker. That makes you somebody. Rain starts again. Always rain in this city. I should disappear, Talia says. Leave tonight. Go somewhere he can't reach. There's nowhere he can't reach. Then what am I supposed to do? Minjai doesn't answer immediately. When he does, his voice carries an edge she hasn't heard before. You survive. Like you've been doing since Baltimore. He stands. And you don't let them make you small. He walks away. But this time he looks back once. Just once. Talia sits in the rain until her clothes soak through, staring at the spot where he stood. Across the street, Taiil watches from a black sedan. He makes another call. This one lasts 30 seconds. When he hangs up, he's smiling. Do you think Minjai can protect Talia from Taiil? Or is she already too deep in this war? Let me know below. Battery Park at midnight smells like salt water and regret. Talia stands at the railing, staring at the Statue of Liberty like it's personally judging her life choices. The torch glows in the darkness. Freedom, opportunity, all that propaganda they feed you in elementary school. She's been in New York 8 days. Feels like 8 years. Footsteps behind her. She doesn't turn, knows the rhythm of that walk now, measured, controlled, deliberate. You're predictable, Minjai says, stopping beside her. Coming here alone, late at night, after what happened. Maybe I want to be predictable, Talia says. Maybe I'm tired of fighting. You don't mean that. How would you know what I mean? She turns on him. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me except what you read in some file or saw on a security camera. Minjai's expression doesn't change. You're right. I don't know you. Then why are you here? Because you didn't deserve what they did to you. Neither did you. The words escape before she can stop them. Whatever box they locked you in, whatever life they decided you'd live, you didn't deserve that either. Something cracks in his carefully controlled mask. Just for a second. A flash of pain so raw it makes her chest ache. "You don't know what you're talking about," he says quietly. "Don't I?" Taiil steps closer. "You walk like a man who's waiting for the next attack. You talk like every word might be used against you in court. You look at people like they're chess pieces instead of human beings." She pauses. "Except sometimes, when you think no one's watching, you look lost." Minjai's jaw works. "You should leave New York." "I tried. Remember? That's how this started. Try again. I'll give you money, enough to start over somewhere Taiil can't find you." "Why?" Taiil demands. "Why do you care if I leave or stay?" "Because I know how this story ends." His voice rises for the first time since she met him. "I've seen it play out a dozen times. He'll destroy everything about you. Your past, your reputation, your hope. And when there's nothing left, he'll make sure you disappear in a way that sends a message to everyone watching. Then stop him." "I can't. Won't. Can't." Minjai's hands clench into fists. "You think I have power? I'm a puppet with expensive strings. Everything I touch he controls. Everyone I—" He stops himself. "Everyone you— what?" Taiil presses. The silence stretches. "Everyone I care about becomes a target," Minjai finally says. "My mother learned that, before I was old enough to protect her." The words land like stones in dark water. Talia's voice softens. "What happened to her?" "She was trafficked, 17 years old. No papers, no family, no choices." His eyes stay on the water. "She ended up working in one of my father's establishments. Pregnant, disposable." He pauses. "Taiil was the prosecutor on the case. He made sure the men responsible never saw a courtroom. Then he recruited them. Jesus. He taught me a lesson early. Compassion is a luxury. Weakness is death." Minjai finally looks at her. "That's why you need to leave, before you teach me to care again." Taiil stares at him. This man, this controlled, powerful, untouchable man, is terrified. Not of Taiil, of feeling something. "Too late," she says quietly. "What? You already care. That's why you're here. That's why you found me." She takes a breath. "And I already care too, which means we're both in trouble." A car alarm goes off somewhere in the distance. Wind off the harbor carries the smell of diesel and fish. Minjai's phone vibrates. He glances at it. His expression hardens. "I have to go." "Minjai, don't follow me. Don't try to contact me. Stay away from the market." He starts walking, then stops. "And Taiil, lock your door tonight." He disappears into the darkness. Taiil stands alone at the railing, watching the statue's torch burn against the black sky. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. She opens it. One photo. No message. It's her. From Baltimore. Outside her mother's funeral. Face twisted in grief. Hair wild. Completely broken. The photo she didn't know existed. The photo no one should have. Where did that photo come from? And what is Taiil planning to do with it? Drop your theory now. The internet is faster than kindness. By morning, Talia's face is everywhere. Not the version of her trying to rebuild in New York. The destroyed version from Baltimore. Raw grief, uncombed hair, eyes hollow from 3 days without sleep. The caption reads, "Violent past surfaces. Minjai's charity case has history of assault." Talia's hands shake as she scrolls through her phone. Forum posts, anonymous blogs, Reddit threads dissecting every mistake she ever made. The fight with her neighbor, defending herself against a man twice her size who cornered her in a stairwell, is now unprovoked assault of an elderly community member. Her stepfather's gambling debts, which left her homeless, become family history of criminal financial behavior. Her depression after her mother's death. Normal, human, grief, is now unstable mental health history and dangerous emotional volatility. Every vulnerability weaponized, every trauma stripped of context. Someone knocks on her door. She opens it to find Mrs. Kim. The older woman won't meet her eyes. "I'm sorry," Mrs. Kim whispers. She hands Taiil an envelope. "Mr. Minjai wanted you to have this, but I can't. I have grandchildren. I can't be seen with you anymore." The envelope contains cash, $5,000, and a note in precise handwriting. "This doesn't fix anything, but it might buy you time. Leave. Please. M." Mrs. Kim is gone before Taiil can respond. By afternoon, the board of directors for Minjai's legitimate businesses holds an emergency meeting. Taiil knows because the text screenshots leak online. Unacceptable associations. Liability to the company. If he can't control his personal life, how can we trust him with ours? Minjai's power is slipping, not because of what he did, because of who he chose to protect. Taiil sits in her empty room, staring at the cash, understanding the weight of it. This isn't help. It's a goodbye. Her phone rings. Unknown number again. She shouldn't answer. She does. "Miss Monroe," Taiil's voice, silk and knives. "I assume you've seen the news. You did this. I revealed the truth. There's a difference. Those aren't the whole truth. You know that. The whole truth is irrelevant." She can hear the smile in his voice. Perception is reality. And right now, the perception is that you're dangerous, desperate, and using Minjai for personal gain. Talia's grip tightens on the phone. "What do you want?" "I want you to understand your position. Minjai is losing his board's confidence. His investors are nervous. His reputation is damaged." Taiil pauses. "All because he made one mistake. Believing he could save you. He doesn't need to save me." "Then prove it. Leave. Tonight. Take his money and disappear. Or stay and watch everything he built collapse because he was too weak to let you go." The line goes dead. Taiil stares at the phone, at the cash, at the note. Outside her window, rain starts again. Because of course it does. She thinks about Minjai's mother. 17, trafficked, pregnant, disposable. She thinks about Minjai's eyes when he told that story. The careful way he controlled every word. Like if he stopped controlling, he'd shatter. She thinks about his voice in Battery Park. "Before you teach me to care again." Her phone buzzes. Text message, Minjai. "Don't do anything stupid. I'm handling it." She types back, "How?" 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Finally. "I don't know yet." Taiil sets down the phone and walks to her window. 4 stories below, a black sedan idles at the curb. Same one that's been following her for 3 days. She watches it for 5 minutes. Then she makes a decision. The kind of decision that changes everything. She texts Minjai. "Where are you right now?" His response comes immediately. "Why?" "Because I'm not leaving, and if Taiil wants a war, I'm done being a victim in it." 5 seconds pass. 10. Then, "Taiil, don't." She's already out the door, already running, already making the choice that will force him to make his. Is Taiil making the biggest mistake of her life? Or is this the moment she stops running? "Tell me what you think she should do." Minjai finds Taiil in the private office overlooking Midtown Manhattan. Floor-to-ceiling windows, chrome and glass furniture, abstract art worth more than most people earn in a lifetime. The kind of space designed to make you feel small. Taiil doesn't look up from his laptop when Minjai enters. "You didn't call ahead. You destroyed her life." Minjai's voice stays level, barely. "I protected yours." Taiil closes the laptop with precise fingers. "She's a liability. Unvetted. Unstable background. Emotionally volatile," he stands. "And she makes you weak. She makes me human." Those are the same thing in our world. Taiil crosses to the window. The city sprawls below. Millions of lives reduced to ant-sized movement. Your mother made your father human too. Remember how that ended? Minjai's hands clench. Don't. She was trafficked because she had no protection, no power, no one willing to make the hard choices to keep her safe. Taiil turns. Your father loved her. That love made him hesitate at a critical moment, and she paid the price. You prosecuted the men who trafficked her. I did. Then you recruited them. Taiil's expression doesn't change. I made them useful. Turned chaos into order. That's what power does. It transforms weakness into strength. By exploiting the same people you claim to protect? By understanding that protection is an illusion. Control is the only reality. Taiil moves closer. I taught you this. Built you into something stronger than your father ever was. And now you're throwing it away for a woman you met 8 days ago? She's not the point. Then what is? Minjai's voice drops. You are. This empire. This life. He gestures at the office, the city, everything. None of it's about survival anymore. It's about control. Making everyone around you as trapped as you are. I'm not trapped. Then why are you still here? Minjai challenges. You have enough money to disappear, enough power to walk away, but you don't. Because control is the only thing that makes you feel alive? Taiil's eyes narrow. Careful. My mother didn't die because my father hesitated. She died because men like you convinced men like him that love was weakness. Minjai's voice hardens. That caring about someone made you vulnerable. That the only way to survive was to become just as cold as the people trying to destroy you. And yet here you are. Alive. Powerful. Everything your father never achieved. And empty. The word lands like a stone. Completely empty. Silence fills the space between them. Taiil studies him. You're choosing her. I'm choosing to stop being what you made me. Then you're choosing to lose everything. Maybe everything I have is worth losing. Taiil's expression shifts. Something colder settles into his features. I gave you a choice, Minjai. Walk away from the girl, maintain your position, keep your empire. He pauses. Or protect her, and watch me dismantle everything you've built, including her. You already tried that. No. Taiil's smile has no warmth in it. I was being subtle. Now I'll be efficient. Minjai turns to leave. She's being followed, Taiil says casually. Right now, 3 men, very motivated, very thorough in their work. Minjai freezes. Koreatown is particularly dangerous at night. Taiil continues. Poorly lit streets, lots of alleys, easy for someone to get hurt or worse. Minjai's phone is already in his hand, dialing Talia. It rings, and rings, and rings. Where is Talia right now? And will Minjai reach her? In time? Comment your prediction. Talia realizes she's being followed somewhere between 35th and 36th Street. 3 men, black jackets, moving with purpose, not bothering to hide anymore. Her heart kicks into overdrive. She turns down a side alley. Mistake, she knows it immediately, looking for a shortcut to the main street. The alley narrows, dumpsters on both sides, fire escapes overhead dripping rust-colored water. Dead end. She spins around. They're already blocking the entrance. Miss Monroe, the one in front, accent she can't place, face she'll never forget. Someone wants to send a message. Talia's back hits brick. I don't have anything. No money, no. We're not here to rob you. That's when she sees the brass knuckles. She runs. Not toward them. That's suicide. She runs at the dumpster, jumps, catches the bottom rung of the fire escape. Her arms scream. Her shoulders feel like they're tearing. But fear is stronger than pain. She pulls herself up just as hands grab her. Ankle. She kicks, Hard, feels her heel connect with something soft, a grunt below her. The fire escape ladder releases. She climbs. Second floor, third. Her breath comes in ragged gasps. Below her, footsteps clang on metal. They're following. She reaches the fourth floor and runs across the roof. Jumps the gap to the next building. Lands hard. Stumbles. Keeps moving. The city spreads around her. Neon signs, traffic noise, someone's TV playing too loud through an open window. All that life happening while she's running for hers. Another alley. She has to go down eventually. She takes the next fire escape, climbs down too fast. Her hand slips. She falls the last 6 feet and hits concrete. Pain explodes through her left shoulder. Her vision whites out. When it clears, they're there. All 3 of them. Should have taken the money and left, the leader says. The first punch splits her lip. The second crumples her to her knees. She tastes copper, blood, not pavement this time, and tries to curl into herself, protect her vital organs like she learned in the Baltimore streets. Enough. A different voice, female, older. Make sure she remembers. The kick to her ribs lifts her off the ground. Everything goes dark at the edges. Then, tires screeching, car doors slamming, shouting in Korean. The weight on top of her disappears. Hands, different hands, gentle, lift her face. Talia, Minjai's voice, ragged, terrified. Stay with me. She forces her eyes open. His face hovers above hers, blood on his knuckles, someone else's blood. I should have stayed invisible, she whispers. Don't. His voice cracks. Don't say that. He lifts her, just picks her up like she weighs nothing. She tries to protest, but her body won't cooperate. Everything hurts. People stare as he carries her through Koreatown. Everyone sees. The great Choi Minjai, untouchable and controlled, covered in blood, carrying a black woman like she's the only thing in the world that matters. His empire, crumbling with every step. He doesn't care. Where are we going? Talia manages. Somewhere safe. Nowhere safe. You said that. Then somewhere safer than here. She closes her eyes and lets him carry her, feels his heartbeat through his shirt. Racing. Uncontrolled. Human. Behind them, a black sedan follows at a distance. Inside, Taiil watches through tinted windows, makes one final call, says 3 words, hangs up, and smiles. What were those 3 words? And who did Taiil just call? This is the end game. Comment now. Minjai's penthouse overlooks the East River, but tonight, the view brings no peace. Talia sits on his leather couch, cleaned up, bandaged, wearing his shirt because her clothes were destroyed. Her ribs are wrapped, her shoulder immobilized, her face a canvas of purple and blue. She's alive. That's what matters. You're staring, Talia says without opening her eyes. You could have died. But I didn't. She finally looks at him. Thanks to you. Minjai paces. Can't. Stop moving. This is my fault, all of it. I should have sent you away that first night. Should have never what? Treated me like a human being? Talia shifts, wincing. I made my choice, Minjai. I stayed. That's on me. You don't understand what you're up against. Then explain it to me. He stops pacing, looks at her, really looks, and something breaks in him. Taiil built this empire on silence, Minjai says quietly. People who ask questions disappear. People who challenge him lose everything. He stops himself. People you care about? Talia finishes. He nods. Your mother. Another nod. Anyone else? A few, over the years. Anyone who made me feel something other than empty. His hands clench. He removes them. Cleanly. Efficiently. And I let him because the alternative is losing everything. Losing myself. The words hang between them. What if you already lost yourself? Talia asks. Years ago, and you've been pretending ever since. Minjai's. Phone buzzes. He ignores it. It buzzes again. And again. He finally checks it. His face goes pale. "What?" Taiil demands. "Get dressed now." Minjai. "Now." She moves, pain be damned. Something in his voice activates pure survival instinct. Through the window, red and blue lights paint the street below. Sirens. Lots of them. "What's happening?" Taiil whispers. Taiil. Minjai pulls on his jacket. He leaked everything to the FBI, money laundering, illegal imports, underground operations. He meets her eyes. "All the evidence points to me." The building intercom buzzes. "FBI, open up!" Minjai crosses to Taiil, takes her face in his hands. "Listen to me. You were never here. You don't know anything. You're a victim of my charity who I fired after discovering the theft. Understood? I'm not leaving you." "Yes, you are." He kisses her forehead. Brief, desperate. "Don't let them turn you cold, Taiil. Don't let this world convince you that caring is weakness." Minjai. The door crashes open. Men in tactical gear flood the penthouse, weapons drawn, shouting commands. "On the ground, now!" Minjai doesn't resist, just drops to his knees, hands behind his head, like he's done this before in his mind 1,000 times. They cuff him, read his rights, lead him toward the door. He looks back once, their eyes meet, and Taiil understands. This is his sacrifice, his choice, his way of protecting her when he couldn't protect anyone else. Then he's gone. The agents question her for 2 hours. She tells them nothing useful because she knows nothing useful. Eventually, they let her go with a warning and a card to call if she remembers anything. She walks out of the building into dawn light. 3 weeks pass. She finds work at a different market, keeps her head down, doesn't ask questions. Minjai is at Rikers Island awaiting trial. The media calls him a monster, a criminal. Everything she knows he isn't. She wants to visit. She doesn't, because Taiil is still watching, still waiting. Then the letter arrives. Plain envelope, no return address, delivered to her new apartment, a place only 3 people know about. Inside, one sentence in Minjai's handwriting. "Taiil is coming for you." Should Taiil run? Or is it already too late? Comment what you think she should do. Taiil reads the letter 17 times before her hands stop shaking. Outside her window, rain starts again. Of course it does. This city only knows one weather pattern. Wet misery, punctuated by brief moments of false hope. She walks to the window and looks down. 4th floor. Different building. Same story. A black sedan idles at the curb. Same car that followed her for weeks. Same tinted windows. Same patient, predatory stillness. Taiil isn't hiding anymore. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers without thinking. "Miss Monroe." His voice. Silk and knives. "I assume you received Minjai's warning?" "What do you want?" "I want you to understand something." Taiil's voice carries the weight of absolute certainty. Minjai sacrificed everything to protect you. His empire, his freedom, his future. All because he made one fatal mistake. Believing love could survive in a world built on power. Love isn't weakness. Then why is he in prison while I'm free? Taiil pauses. Why are you alone, injured, terrified, while I'm sitting in a penthouse deciding whether you live or die? Talia's grip tightens on the phone. If you're going to kill me, just do it. Kill you? No. That would make you a martyr. Make Minjai's sacrifice meaningful. He laughs, soft, cold. I'm going to give you a choice instead. What choice? Run. Disappear. Start over somewhere I'll never find you. Forget Minjai. Forget everything that happened here. His voice drops. Or stay. Try to save him. And watch me destroy you both so completely that no one will remember you existed. That's not a choice. Of course it is. It's just not a fair one. She can hear the smile in his voice. But then, when has life ever been fair to girls like you? The line goes dead. Taiil stands at the window, staring at the sedan. Rain hammers the glass. Somewhere across the river, Minjai sits in a cell, paying the price for caring about her. Somewhere in this city, Taiil watches and waits, confident she'll break. But here's what neither of them understands. Baltimore taught her how to survive poverty. New York taught her how to survive power. Minjai taught her something more dangerous than either. He taught her that some things are worth fighting for, even when fighting means losing everything. She picks up her phone, dials a number she memorized weeks ago but never called. It rings twice. Midtown Legal Aid, how can I help you? Talia takes a breath. I need to report corruption. Federal level. And I have evidence. Outside, the sedan's engine starts. Taiil knows what she's doing. And he's coming. The rain falls harder. Lightning cracks the sky above Manhattan. And Talia, Monroe, invisible girl, discarded woman, broken survivor, makes the choice that changes everything. She doesn't run. She fights back. Sometimes love doesn't save you. It reveals the war you were never meant to fight. But maybe, just maybe, some wars are worth fighting anyway, even when the odds are impossible, even when the cost is everything. So tell me, besties, what happens next? Does Talia bring down Taiil's empire? Does Minjai get free? Or does this story end the way these stories always end, with the powerful winning and the powerless disappearing? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me if you think Talia survives this war. Tell me if love is worth the price they're paying. And most importantly, tell me if you want to know how this story ends. Because the next chapter, that's where everything burns. Comment now. Should Talia run or become dangerous too?